Good evening, and thank you for tuning in here on the Central YouTube channel as it's ARC Week, and I have a fantastic interview. I've been waiting all year for this. Really, really excited about this. Unfortunately, I'm out in Pine Ridge right now with the Health Science Academy. You see, I'm in a car, and that's because our Wi-Fi went out at the hotel that we're staying at. So I got on the road and found a Wi-Fi I could get on, and so we'll see if we can make this interview work. This is a special interview as we have a player from each of the teams that we'll be seeing tomorrow night on the gridiron. Got to thank Bradley Check from Logan and Christian Rudrud for joining us today on the broadcast. Bradley stepping into enemy territory here tonight on the Central YouTube channel. Bradley, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it means a lot to, having me on and stuff. And, I enjoy this type of stuff. So thank you guys.
Well, we are excited that you're here. Christian, of course, anybody that watches the Central YouTube channel knows all about Christian Rudrud because I'm talking about him pretty much for the entire games all season long. Christian, thank you for taking time out of the day. Everybody's been wondering, when are you going to interview Christian? You love him so much. When are you going to interview him? I was saving you for ARC Week, and here you are. Thank you for taking time out of the night to join us on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Bradley, we got to talk about Logan a little bit. We've been watching you from afar, and it's been quite a season. 6-2 overall, 4-2 in the MVC. There's been many a nights when Central's got done playing, and we turned on your stream up in the press box and checked to see how you guys were doing. An exciting finish against Onalaska. We were jumping around in the booth for you guys against Onalaska. Tell us a little bit about your season. Do a little season recap for us. It's obviously been a fantastic season. What's it been like being on that Logan Ranger team this year?
Well, the energy is awesome. I know on a week-to-week basis, our goal was kind of shut down last week. Mainly we wanted to come home with a conference championship for the first time in, the last 10 years. And although, despite not being able to, complete necessarily that aspect of our season, we moved on to like the next thing. So the next biggest thing I think for us was the ARC and then making a deep playoff run. So energy levels are high. They've been high since, week 1. And now, geez, here we are in week 9. And it's almost like, like people say, my older peers and, the parents and grandparents and fans and stuff, they say it's gone in a blink of an eye. And they were not joking. So I don't know, just finding the ways, week by week to, find excitement, enjoyment, and love for the people around you. That's what it's about.
Hard to believe that we're already at the end of the football season, but Bradley, you mentioned the energy around that Logan football team. We've certainly seen that, and you said one of the goals that you had was to win conference, not out of that race. So
Yeah.
a win with a couple, breaks going your way with other games, and you guys could still have a share of that conference title. So still alive, still a lot to play for, and of course can still get those other goals of the ARC and making a deep playoff run. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. Christian, same question for you. Now we know a lot more about the Riverhawks. We're the Riverhawks channel, but just tell us what has it been like being on this team? 5-3 overall, 5-1 in the conference, sitting atop the conference. A win gives you at least a share of the conference. What's it been like for you this year being on that Riverhawk football team?
It's definitely been a roller coaster. We got punched in the mouth first 2 weeks, bounced back against Reedsburg, and since then we kind of been rolling. A little hiccup against Onalaska, but I think the biggest difference between the team that we are now and the team that we were the first 2 weeks are we have a true brotherhood. Everybody loves everybody on this team, and I think that shows on the field.
Absolutely, it does. And you have things rolling right now. You mentioned those first 2 games, and I can remember thinking, boy, oh boy, this could be a long season for this football team. You certainly turned it around, and I'm thankful for that. Bradley, let's talk about your stats a little bit. Both of you guys, your stats just jump off the page. Bradley, you have 928 passing yards. You're a dual threat quarterback, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,209 rushing yards, and 19 touchdowns. 19 touchdowns rushing, 151 yards per game on the ground. Oh, and by the way, the leading tackler for the defense was 74 tackles. Bradley, your stats have been amazing. You play both ways. Do you like playing on both sides of the ball?
I do like playing both ways. I don't necessarily like always tooting my own horn, but as a second year, like doing this type of stuff, it's kind of just like, all right, we're on offense right now, whether it's touchdown or, 4-and-out punt. All right, let's go reset it, get back on defense and, see what we got going from there. So overall answer, yes. Does it get tiring sometimes? Also, yes.
I was just going to say you don't get much of a break, and they're depending on you heavy on both sides of the ball. So, not much of a chance for you to sit down and kind of catch your breath. Good thing you're in good shape and able to do what you do. Christian, I want to talk a little bit about your stats. So you are a dual threat quarterback as well, 356 yards passing, 3 touchdowns on the season, but 912 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns for you. We've seen some huge, huge performances from not only you, but that whole stable of running backs with Gavin Shepard, and then, of course, other guys getting rushing yardage. Did you know, Christian, that in 8 games you as a team have 2,355 yards rushing the ball? You are averaging 294 yards a game on the ground. That is just incredible. Talk to us a little bit about that offensive line up front.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys have been starting since their sophomore year, so it's a very, very developed and experienced O line that we've got. And Aiden Martin, the only junior on the line, has been doing an awesome job. Uh, and I think collectively, I I, I don't think there's a single front in the entire state that can hang with our line. So.
You got Bradley looking around. He's got some questions about that. We're going to
Yeah.
settle all this tomorrow night, Bradley. We don't need to
Yep.
fight right now. Christian, you're right. They've been doing a lot of work up front. I want to talk to you a little bit about your running style because I absolutely love it. I told my wife after the game last week, I try really hard to not let everybody know that Christian's my favorite player out there. And she said, you're doing a really bad job of that because it's very obvious. I love watching you run the ball. And one of the things I love the most about watching you run the ball is the way that you seek out contact. You look to deliver the punishment on the defense. Is that a mindset that you have going into the game that you are not going to let somebody get the lick on you? You're going to be putting the lick on them?
I think it's more of kind of just setting the tone, let the other team know like you're not playing games. You're here to smack them in the mouth. And if you hit, Bradley knows this. If you hit somebody hard enough, they're not going to come back at you with the same kind of intent. So
There you go. So you're setting the tone early and letting them know that if you
yep.
come at me, you're going to end up the one with the pain, not me. And I think that's a good strategy. And you certainly deliver pain. I feel bad for some of those D-backs that you just demolish sometimes out on the field, but I also love watching it. Bradley, I want to talk a little bit about Logan here. 3-7 last year, kind of a down season. Had some ups and downs there, but kind of a down season. This year, 6-2. It's a lot of the same players. What's been the difference?
Well, like Christian had mentioned a little earlier, a lot of our guys last year on our O line were juniors, and so being able to have that, like Christian said again, the development and the experience, and kind of just like the knowing what's going on or knowing how we want to run our stuff. I mean that always is going to help you as a team, when your offensive line is clicking. So just the step from the O line, and then all of our other players, had that extra year to develop. Jacob Hackbarth was a starting wideout last year. He's obviously back and playing again this year. And then, James Gruen and our secondary was able to step up from last year. He had a few tackles last year, but I think he's right behind me on our team for tackles and right up there in conference with us. So yeah, it's hard just to say. People know what we're doing now, and it's just when you have guys that know what you're supposed to do, it's a lot easier than when it seems like you're scrambling or don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and sometimes just a year of maturity and
Yep.
getting bigger and faster and stronger makes the game a little bit easier for you. Bradley, I saw you kind of questioning Christian when he was talking about his offensive line. So I want to give you a chance to talk about your offensive line. What are the big guys up front doing for you, allowing you to have over 1,200 yards rushing? They're obviously getting the job done as well.
No, with the with the little head nod, I was just giving him crap. I'm excited for tomorrow night. But no, just like I know Kristen mentioned this earlier, like the brotherhood or just kind of like the connection that they have, but then like how they're like the leaders of our team. Now, I know I get, all the news and the glory and the stuff, but I am not able to do what I've been able to do if it's not for those 5 or 6, 7 guys in front of me at times, blocking for me. And so it's just like I love them, kind of like like Christian said, like I love them, they love me, and it's just a whole group effort, come game time and preparing for the Friday nights.
Christian, we saw you have to step in and be the quarterback here last year, as obviously as a running back. Last couple of weeks, we've seen Jude getting entered more and more into the game, allows you to play the running back position, which is a little more natural for you. What does it mean for this team to get Jude Alvarado back and have more opportunities at more snaps for games?
I think it's an awesome thing because I think just about everybody, not even just on the team, but almost everybody that's a Central fan, was waiting to see Jude get back out there and hit the field. And Jude's one of my closest buddies, so I was itching to get back out onto the field with him. So that was pretty sweet to see him play pretty well these last couple of weeks.
Certainly has, and definitely a team leader for you guys. You can tell that just watching from up in the press box. Jude will be getting an interview soon. I know he's itching to get on the YouTube channel, so tell him just to be patient. It's coming. I got ideas. So, Bradley, 2020 was the last time that the Arc was on the north side. What would it mean to this Logan Ranger team and to the Logan community if you were able to figure out a way to get a W tomorrow night and take that Arc from the south side up to the north side?
Well, like I said, it was kind of one of our preseason goals. And so I think the coaches feel the energy, and obviously we feel the energy. It's kind of nice to know that when you're walking down our athletic hallway, you kind of look off to the right where all of our stuff is displayed, and you get to see, whatever year is on it. I actually haven't seen the Arc since I've been in high school. So it's nice to see. It'd be really nice to see, when I look off to the right in that athletic hallway, the Arc sitting there and just be like, yeah, like we did that. My senior year, we were able to, bring it back for everybody that walks through those hallways. So, yeah.
It's something you'll never forget. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Bradley, we were talking off air here a little bit about the camaraderie that there is between the two teams. So tomorrow night we're going to see the two teams go at it, and you guys are going to be fighting with everything you got to get that victory. But talk a little bit about the relationships off the field that exist between Central and Logan players.
Well, I know from a personal standpoint, I played baseball with a lot of those guys, like Derek Pangier and Lucas Hansen and stuff. And even way back when, I don't know if Christian, remembers this, but like I'd be hanging out at Christian's house, and we were like jumping on a trampoline, playing Xbox, Madden and stuff. And like you had mentioned, like we had talked earlier about, it is going to be a dogfight tomorrow, just for the simple fact that like it's for the Arc, with both communities wanting to win. But yes, it will. It's all love until week 9, and then after that, we aren't going to see each other again. So I'm sure we'll be cheering each other on.
We put two public schools on lacrosse. We root for each other all year long, except when we play each other. Bradley, I got to ask you this question, Christian. I'm going to ask you this question too. But let's say Christian gets loose tomorrow night. He's running the ball, and here comes Logan's leading tackler, Bradley Check, one-on-one in the gap. Who's winning that battle?
I mean, I'm always betting on myself, but I do know that Christian runs hard. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it might be one of the situations where, we both deliver the blow, and hopefully he falls back for a 4th down stop instead of a 1st down conversion.
That's awesome. Christian, same question. You meet him in the hole. There's their leading tackler right there. What's going to happen? Give me a little preview.
Well, obviously, as everybody knows, Bradley's quite the specimen, and he hits pretty hard too. So, but I don't think I'd ever bet against myself.
I like your answers. Both of those were very politically correct. We're going to find out. I'm ready to watch right now. I cannot wait for this game. I'm in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, 8.5 hours away. We are getting up early in the morning and coming back because I was not going to miss this game. Christian, I asked Bradley what it would mean to have that Arc up on the north side. What would it mean to the Central team and the Central community to be able to keep that Arc in that trophy case down on the first floor for the coming year?
I think it'd be very important. All the alumni, all the past players, they still care about these kind of things, and Southside definitely takes a lot of pride in keeping the Arc. So,
well, we are going to find out where that Arc resides for the next 11 months, 12 months here soon. We are we're just 24 hours from now, we're going to be out on the football field figuring this out. We will be live on the Central YouTube channel Joe McCall and I will be calling the game. We'll be live at 6:45, and I'm looking really forward to this game. Bradley, I got to thank you for, as I said, coming into enemy territory and giving us an awesome interview. You are welcome to come on the Central YouTube channel anytime you want, Bradley. You're kind of like an honorary Riverhawk. You can come on anytime you want. So maybe he doesn't even like that. Maybe during the baseball season we can do another dual interview, huh?
Yeah, let's get something like that set up. And do you guys cover the basketball games too?
And we cover basketball. We could do it for basketball too.
Yeah, so I just whatever works out for the next time. Obviously, I appreciate you having me on here, and you know, right now it's football season, and we'll take the next steps here when in the next coming week, the next couple of weeks.
And we have a connection now with Coach Check, so maybe we could have a Coach Check and a Bradley Check interview. That would be awesome. Christian, I want to thank you as well. I know it's been a little bit of a trying week for you. I want to thank you for joining me on the YouTube channel, and really do wish you guys the best of luck tomorrow. My only hope, and I mean this with the bottom of my heart, with all of my heart, my only hope is that there's no injuries. Let's get out of it with no injuries, and then let's both, after that game is over, make deep playoff runs and make the whole city of La Crosse proud, north side and south side. I know we'll all be rooting for that. So want to thank you for joining me on the YouTube channel, wishing you both the best of luck. I'm going to come down on the field after the game, no matter the result. I'm going to come down on the field. So I'm going to try and find you guys and give you both a high five and thank you in person for joining the broadcast. So thank you again for taking time out of the day. I took a half hour out of these kids' nights when they're already really busy. So do want to make sure they know I appreciate that. And viewers, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I think we are going to break the internet with this one. Having Bradley Tech and Christian Rudert. Are you kidding me? I can't get any bigger stars than that for you on the Riverhawk YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, pregame 6:45, kickoff at 7 o'clock, and we will see where the Arc resides for the next year. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a good night.